This is 4 Richmond Road, where the town claims that we have torrential water that is pouring onto the neighbor's property. And I'm just not seeing it. Not seeing it at all. We do have water that comes down through our planting area here, where you can see that the water is flowing on our property, does not go onto the neighbor's property, and flows down and away from the house. However, when we look over here at our neighbor's yard, you can see the puddling there of the trench that our neighbor has widened onto our property, where he shows, you can see here, that he's created this surface area that has plastic underneath the gravel, and it is ditched in a way where it allows for the water to flow onto our property. You see how that works there. And where this water is coming from is coming from this man's driveway, and he has 2 spouts coming from the front part where that yellow, you see the yellow piece of building there. So that roof area is directing water onto his property, and then you'll see another area where between the garage and the front door, there's more water from that little roof area that is coming out onto it, as well as the fact that he does not have gutters. So he is now directing his entire surface area onto the side of his house, as opposed to the flat one roof area, which had directed all the water into the back of his house before he put up his illegal addition. So I think that's it in jest. That's, I think, clearly showing that this man has directed water onto our property, and as opposed to what the town claims, is that he's claiming that we are directing water from our landscaped front yard onto his property. Not seeing it. Absolutely not seeing it. The neighbor did plant these trees so that the town could see that he was soaking up whatever water, torrential water, that was coming from our property, and it's just not happening. Not happening. So you can see again, our water from our front yard is coming not onto the neighbor's property, but directly along the perimeter of our gardens, along our house, not impeding our neighbor's property whatsoever, and it is going out, and there's not even a ton of water, that maybe a little bit of water there, but it is again on our property and not impeding our neighbor's property whatsoever. That pipe there that you see is from our roof line. Again, not impeding our neighbor whatsoever. So we'll just go down the line here, and this is what our neighbor has. He's put a river, just basically a river, along our property line. And you can see even here, his new addition, we call it the perch, his second story, has now impacted us even further by directing water directly onto our property. Directly. So now we have a puddle of mud that then flows like a river. Flows like a river onto our property. You can see here, we'll follow our line. Let's say here, even more torrential rain has taken basically our flower bed topsoil and has pushed it, shoved it onto our property. So you see the water flow here. In order to be nice neighbors, we created a trench to allow water so that it wasn't completely impacting our property. Created a nice flower bed there, and you can see where the water flows, and it is flowing at such a pace that it actually, again, pushed our topsoil out onto our grass. This is just a perfect example of erosion at its finest and the impact that our neighbor has created on us. File complaints with us, with the town, and the town continues to advocate for this man. I don't know why. There's some kind of conflict of interest. I don't know. I don't understand it. But we are not impeding this man's property. He, in fact, is impeding ours.